I talked about wage slavery a few months ago. I had made a video talking about this topic, so I figured I'd get on here. I figured I'd get on here and talk about this again because this is more prevalent than ever to talk about because most of us still stuck on some of these jobs that we don't like. And I can tell y'all from self experience that working a job 50, 60 hours a week is meaningless because they sell you the illusion, they sell you this hypothesis that if you work hard and you believe in your dream, I believe you can chase your dream without having to step a foot on a job. Living your dream is just, doing what you want to do, is building your dream instead of building someone else's. Because once you get involved in the 9 to 5 wage slavery dynamics, you end up chasing someone else's dream and building someone else's dream because that's not your company, that's not your business. And we're sold this illusion at an early age. That's what they call it. That's why they call it a car rear. Your body is the car. Your vessel is the car, and your vessel is being reared into one of these institutions, into a cubicle, into one of these jobs, to one of these bottomless pits, to be slaved out the next 30, 40 years of your life. And then once you look back, because 20 years go by in the blink of an eye, 10 years go by in the blink of an eye. Give me 1 second, yeah. Yeah, 20 years goes by in the blink of an eye. You can start off at a job young, enthusiastic, full of energy, spontaneous, ready to take on the world. 10 years go by, you burnt out, you tired, you disgusted, you broken down mentally, physically, all because you were programmed by this matrix to think working all the time is the best way to go, just to have stability here. And it took me a while to figure that out because that's what I'm saying. They say that's what I'm saying. It's all fairy tale. That's what I'm saying. We start out as adolescents. Our boomer generation, the boomer generation, which is our parents. They sell us this whole 9 to 5. Get you a job. That's the first thing they holler. Get you a job. I was hounded. I was beat over the head simultaneously by by everybody. Get you a job. Go to school. If they weren't telling me to get a job, they were saying go to school. And if you wasn't trying to do those two, they would automatically passive aggressive towards you or dismissive. Oh, you don't want to do nothing. Nah, because you're not giving someone a chance to grow for themselves. You have to let someone, like I said, we're seeds. If you were a seed and you need to grow, and you having somebody trying to stunt your growth, I feel like society, this matrix stunts our growth. The people that are put around us with this whole 9 to 5 wage slave shit. Because what they first say, how get you go to college, go to college, go to college. Then once you go to college, then what? You in debt already. Instead of chasing your own dream, chasing your dream could be to heal yourself, to heal others, to come here and just figure out. That's what I'm saying. We don't never have time to figure out what we want to do and who we are before we're just put into a cubicle. I'll put it. We gotta chase a career. And you gotta go. That's what I'm saying. All this shit's meaningless. It's artificial. Working a 9 to 5 wage slave job is artificial. Having a career is all that shit's artificial, man. It don't mean nothing, especially in these times, especially with technocracy going on, because the computers and machines are gonna be taking on machines are taking on people's jobs now. So I feel like in the next 10 years, it will be no such thing as a 9 to 5 job. It won't at all. And people, I'm gonna say majority of the populace, majority of the masses, NPCs or whatever you want to call them, they hate their jobs. I hated my job. You hate your job. And whoever tells you that they like their job, they were just born to be a slave. They were just born to be a slave here in this matrix. You know, and when we talk about wage slavery, it's about you hustling for a low wage to get you just this is what a job is designed to do. You keep going back 50 hours, you working every day, 6 days a week, every day, nonstop, constantly. They telling you to work harder, you work harder. The more you put out, the less you get back. You can go on a job right now and be packing boxes with toys. Say you working with your coworker, you put 10,000 toys in all these boxes, and your coworker puts 500 toys in all these boxes. You will still get the same amount of money. It doesn't matter if they say. That's what I'm saying. It's a misconception. That's a misconception. It's all lies. Or if you work harder, you can get ahead. No. It's about today's modern day work, so-called work field. It's about how much dick you suck. Huh. And I'm gonna be all the way real. It ain't about how hard you work. It's about how much ass you kiss, about how much dick you suck, and what you willing to do behind the scenes to get there. Because, like I said, you can be the hardest worker, you can be the top of the line. I mean, creme of the creme. You can be an impeccable worker. I'm talking about like you can be at the top of your game. So I'm saying, filling boxes with toys, and then your coworker is not as half of the worker you are, you still will get the same amount of money per hour. It's a job, 9 to 5 job is not based on how hard you work. It's based on how much ass you kiss. That's all it's based on. That's all it's based on. It ain't about nothing else. Even having a career, even working in a cubicle all day. The dumbass 9 to 5 rat race. When you got zombies on the highway racing to their own doom. That's what it's all about. And then you're trading your time in for this paper money. People feel like, oh, I make 300,000 a year, 400,000 a year, but you're not happy. You miserable. Success success doesn't mean how much money you make, how big your house is, what kind of car you have, what type of title you have as a job, what type of career you have. That doesn't breed success. Success means doing what you want to do with your own time, being available to do what you want to do with your own time, chasing your own dream instead of chasing someone else's dream. That's what success is. Success is not being stuck at one place for 40 years and then retiring half dead, and they promise you this 401k. That's what it's a trap. They want to work you till you can't retire till you 60, 70 years old. They know most people nowadays are not making it into to retire. They're not, because you gotta think. Look at the food that's put out. Look at the food we're eating, that we're taking in. Look at some of these some of the lifestyles we live in. People not making it to see 70, so they know they don't have to pay out these 401ks or these retirement plans. They'll pull the plug on you before you can even touch any of that. And then most people that are retired, they're having to go back to work. So I'm saying, I think the older generations, they the ones that actually believed in this whole wage slave ideology. Because y'all gotta think it, the 9 to 5 matrix wage slave was brought up about, I think, in the 1930s, 40s, something like that. This is a new system that has been installed, because it's an artificial lifestyle. You regurgitating the same thing every day. Work, sleep, work, sleep. And then you might get a little time for yourself or for your family. And then you telling your kids, I'm doing what I gotta do. I'm working all these hours to make sure you good. No, that's not right, man. That's not life. Like me now, I'm able to do what I want to do with my time now. I can get on here any time of the day and make a video. I can go out and do it I can do anything I want to do now with my own time, because now I pick and choose when I want to go work. I choose when I want to work now. I don't have somebody saying, "Hey, if you don't get here in 20 minutes, we're going to fire you. We're going to dock your pay. We're going to give you a point." Because most of these jobs have a point system. They're going to treat you just like a slave. Yeah, get them likes up for me though. Get them likes up for me. Get them likes up for me. Uh, a job is not designed to treat you like a human, or to treat you like with respect or dignity, or with morality. A job is designed to break you down. It's exactly what it says. A job. Just over broke. wage slave. I don't care if you work in corporate America. I don't care if you're working at fast food. It's all a racket. It's all the same. They all have the same principalities because you're always going to have somebody over you controlling what you do. How can you be at a job and somebody just schedule you to work a whole month in advance? How can somebody just take life away from you like that? That's all a job does. It takes your energy. This is an energy extraction matrix, right? So what you think these jobs and your coworkers and your boss is going to do is going to extract energy from you. The money is worthless. That's why I'm saying. That's why when I work for myself now, so I'm able to do what I want to do with my own time instead of being forced into doing things I don't want to do. That's what I'm saying. Almost 100% of the people that work these jobs hate their fucking jobs because a lot of us don't even have people skills. School only prepared us to go work a job. School didn't prepare us to be individualists. School didn't prepare us to be creative. School only prepared us to be to be slaves or to be someone willing to bow down to take orders. Because what do you do in school? You just taking orders, right? You gotta raise your hand. You gotta stand on the line and wait your turn. So it's the same. They you being prepped to serve the matrix, to serve your boss, to serve that job, to be loyal to that job. Some people are more loyal to their goddamn job than to their own family or to their own or to themselves. Most of my damn coworkers, I shit y'all not. I never got this. I'll be at work. They would be up at the job on their off day. I'm thinking to myself, why are they up here? Huh? Like, man, you just work 60 hours this week and you up here on your day off, hanging at the job. If you got to do that much ass kissing and dick sucking to get somewhere, then I don't. I just thought to myself, I don't want it. Then, like, it just seems so. That shit just seems so lame to me. Coming to a job, you having to work your ass off, and then you got to kiss ass on top of that. You giving that more energy. No, I'm just saying, like, to anyone that's currently working a job, always look for a way out because you would never be appreciated at the end of the day. You will never be able to make because the CEO or the COO, you can guarantee you they don't work. If they not working, why should you work? They don't pay taxes. Why should you pay taxes? They somewhere with their feet kicked back in the shade somewhere, not doing nothing. So why do we have to do the same thing? Why do we have to go? Why do we have to go lay down our time and effort into someone else's company just to get nothing back? I worked at one job for almost 10 years. I can honestly say I have nothing to show for it. All I did was make someone else rich. That's all I did. All I did was sit back and watch managers and the owners stay on vacations. They never worked. That just always felt odd to me. They were always off somewhere doing family thing, having fun. I get on social media. That'll make you even madder. You get on social media, you see them all out having a ball, you see the managers and the owners all out having a ball, living their best life. You stuck working a job 10 hours. I'm like, damn, I'm stuck here 10 hours a day from sun up to sundown, and they out doing what they want to do. That just never seemed right to me. That just never seemed fair. That just never seemed like I never felt like I could get anywhere by doing that. It ain't nothing but a revolving door. It's nothing but it's meant to keep you in a cycle. This is why most stay asleep too. This is why most can never wake up. This is why most can't see past the veil of illusions because that's what the 9 to 5 job is meant for. It's meant to keep or a corporate job, whatever job you have, whatever artificial career that you have, it's meant to keep you away from truth. It's meant to keep you away from self-awareness. People go their whole lives not knowing, being unaware of who they really are and unaware of what this place really is because you spent 40 years doing the same shit every day. You hustling. They make us hustle for a fucking weekend. You basically have to go work just you working all week and then You off Saturday or Sunday, and you don't have time to do shit. Cause Saturday you might want to say if you want to go shopping or go spend time with the family or you want to go do certain things. Shit, the damn near by the time you get to doing all that shit on Saturday, it's nighttime. Then you want to go relax because you beat down mentally and physically and spiritually from the job. So when Saturday, that's what I'm saying. When Saturday come around, you trying to cram everything that you've been want to do all week into Saturday, and then you don't have the time. And then Sunday, you just want to chill and rest. Real shit. And then if you work in a job to where you on call, somebody calls in, say you're a manager and you just on call, it means you really don't have time for yourself anyway. Your whole life deals with working this one goddamn job. It doesn't deal with spiritual growth, mental growth. It doesn't deal with you being healthy from a physical aspect. It's just people suffering at these goddamn jobs, man. I suffered for years. I suffered for years working a goddamn job, dog. And I feel like the Matrix. I feel like this energy extraction matrix uh it's designed to be that way. I don't they couldn't ain't no amount of money in the world. If they offered me 50 an hour to work 50, 40 hours a week, I would turn it down because it's not about the money. It's about my sanity. It's about me. It's about my peace. It's about my free will. It's about me doing what I want to do with my time. I don't give a fuck about the money. People get caught up in the artificial lifestyle. I make all this money. So what? What do you trading all your time though? You don't have freedom. So I'm saying people talk about freedom this and freedom that. People celebrate all these paganistic holidays like Fourth of July, Freedom Day. No, people that wouldn't know what freedom was if it smacked them in the fucking face. How are you free if you working 70 hours in a week? If you calling somebody else boss? Some of these jobs will make a motherfucker suicidal. I dreaded going into work. Every day I went to work, I dreaded it. I was like, man, what am I doing? I would go to my car. I'll be sitting out. I'll sit at my damn car. I'll take an hour break. They would have to come look for me. Huh? I ain't bullshitting, yeah. I would go on break. I'll be out there for like 40, 50 minutes. Cause at that time, I just didn't care anymore. I was on my way out anyway. And I would just sit there in my car daydreaming, thinking to myself, what the hell am I doing with my life? Like, who lied to me and told me that this is cool? That me coming here, working all these fucking hours, taking orders from someone else, and like, what am I doing? And then I'm not making. And then I was just sitting back looking like, man, everybody around me, like all the lazy ones, quote unquote, the lazy motherfuckers, they come in here and get made manager within a 2 month time span. But I've been here for years, and I'm still stuck in the same rut. I'm still stuck making the same amount of dollars I was making when I first started working here. But this person can come along and just kiss ass and sniff the boss's ass and and get on their knees, and they get made superintendent. Yeah, they get made. Oh, they become overseer. I was like, wow, this ain't for me no more. And that's what I'm saying. I think wage slavery should be abolished. I think it really should. Give people their freedom back, man. Give people back their time. You know, let one that want to go do chasing your dream is not following going after your college credentials. Because people feel like I'm living without I'm living a dream. I'm living out my dream. Why? You okay? You went to college. You got all these accolades, but what? You not happy? You hate that shit. I don't give a shit if you make um, almost $1 million a year. You hate your life. Corporate America, the corporate America is artificial. It's a corporation, so you're seen as just that, a corpse. You're not seen. You think they're gonna treat you as a human? They're gonna treat you just like a slave. Because the more money you have here, the more material you have here, that makes the biggest slave. When I see people driving each his own. When I see people driving nice cars and living in these nice houses, that doesn't defy success to me. That means that You doing some shit that you don't want to do. I drive a 2023 Tesla. So what? You a slave. The grid goes down, that shit gonna be worthless anyway. So you spent all your life doing this for what? I went to college for 8 years and now I'm doing work in a job I want to work. No, you're not. You're not working a job that you want to work. You doing that because you wanted to be the poster child of your family. You wanted to be the golden child of your family in the material world. You didn't do that because you did that because your parents beat you over the head. Your parents were boomers and they told you that you better than everybody. That'll make you better than the rest if you wouldn't work the job. What's up, Rise to the Infinity? What's up, Christina? Much love, much love, much love. Uh yeah, most people they feel like just because that's what it's all about, man. I seen somebody leave a comment one time. They said that their parents told them that if they went and did this, went and got all these accolades and credentials, and they went and got a so-called career, that they would be better than everybody else. They would like it's nothing but a competition. It's keeping you in competition with the rest. That's what I'm saying. When I did work a job, everyone was in competition with each other. Like who could live the best fake life? Who could go on the most vacations? Who could who had the best car? Who made the most money? I found myself competing with other people at times. I ain't gonna front. How much you make an hour? I be like, how much you make an hour? We be sitting there comparing, and that how you sitting there comparing your life to somebody else's that's really ain't just really a nobody, you know. And it took me a long time to figure out that working a job, having a wage slave or a corporate job or even working at McDonald's or working just being I was a chef for a long time, so it took me a while to figure these things out, to figure out I was getting fucked with no Vaseline. Ha! Real shit, man. I was like, man, I'm thinking to myself, how am I like one of the best cooks in here, but I'm not able to go on as many vacations as Johnny Boy. I go on as many vacations as Cece over here. Huh? That's what I thought to myself. It was a shit show, man. I'm telling you, it was hell, man. I wouldn't. So I'm saying, if they came to me and say, "Hey, Kentrell, we give you 70 an hour to come be a chef or come over here and work," I would turn it down because I'm not trading in I'm not trading in my time for money anymore. That's what I'm saying. I do this shit when I want to do it now. I do it at my own discretion. I do it at my own discernment. That's the epitome of having free will, being able to be yourself, being able to express yourself, being able to do what you want to do with your own discernment without having someone else behind you or over you telling you when to do it or how to do it or where to go. You know, I do me now. So I'm saying I can get on here and make a 10 hour. I can go live for 10 hours if I wanted to. I can go out and just do. I feel free now to spread my wings. I do what I want to do now because I left the wage slave rat race, man. That's what I'm saying. Majority of the populace hate their fucking jobs. You can see it when you go. When I go out and about, you know what's so crazy? You get on. That's what I'm saying. Reality is not. It's a lie because when I get on social media, I see everybody happy, laughing, taking family pictures, look like they living their best life. But when I'm out at these grocery stores and I'm out in the matrix and I'm out doing what I gotta do, I see frowns on people's faces. I see people at these jobs working jobs they don't like. I see inflation. I just see misery. I see a dystopian society. I see a dystopia. I see a world. When I say world, I mean this matrix. I see a world full of people of bots going nowhere, spinning our wheels, but going nowhere. Teacher or even a doctor. What is the point of being a doctor that works 40 hours and makes as much an hour as someone entry level? And engineers make as much as someone that works in a restaurant. These people are just as bad at math. Right, right. That's what I'm saying. All these are nothing but titles. All of these are physical, mundane titles that they give us: lawyer, doctor, cop, firefighter, engineer. Any of these things keeps us in this artificial lifestyle. That's what I'm saying. When we were younger, that's all I heard. What you want to be when you grow up? Like that's it starts off bad when you're young because they telling you what you want to be when you grow up instead of and the first thing we've been programmed to say is we're gonna say all these artificial titles. Want to be a cop, want to be a lawyer, want to be a nurse, want to be a CNA, want to be any of these titles. I want to be a pastor instead of like being what you want to be without the programming. Nobody say, hey, I want to be a minimalist. I want to be somebody that's just going to be travel the country and really be free. Be on some Forrest Gump shit and just travel, just hit the road and just be a minimalist and do what you want to do with your time instead of doing what you want to do instead of like falling under all these titles. That's what I'm saying. I watched my parents work work their asses off just to get nothing back in return. The basic necessities, the basic toiletries that we have, such as a roof over our heads, such as a vehicle to travel in, such as food, water, all these are basic necessities that we having to go slave our lives away for, man. And that shit has to stop. It has to end. And I think this generation and the generations going forward are gonna be the ones that actually put a stop to it and say, hey, we're not doing this no more. We're not going along with this whole charade, this whole American dream, which is really an American nightmare. It really is a dream because this Matrix ain't nothing but a fucking dream. But that's besides the point. That's what I'm saying. I think this generation coming up are gonna be the ones that really break ground on this whole wage slave dynamic, man. They're gonna be the ones that say, hey, what nah, we're not doing that. This is why you see majority of the people quitting their jobs. That's why the great resignation happened. But a couple years ago, people would just stop working because people had time. I think during the pandemic, people actually had time to sit and think how much they was getting fucked during the age of sleep. People actually had time to sit back and dissect. Hey man, we being done wrong. I'm not getting a fresh shake. Why am I in here working all these goddamn hours and I'm still broke? Why am I working all these goddamn hours? Why am I spending all my life stuck in a cubicle just to go home and be inside of a small ass apartment? Apartment, I don't know, a small ass apartment ain't nothing but a cubicle. So you leaving one cubicle going to another. People are starting to see these things. I seen on YouTube these people would start becoming nomads. They started this one guy, he said he was making hundreds of thousands a year. And he said he lived in $1 million house. He said he traded all that in and he started living in a van, just traveling the country because he said he woke up and seen that it was a trap. He woke up and seen that he wasn't getting nowhere. It was the hamster wheel he was running in. He wasn't getting anywhere. So I'm saying I think a lot of us, especially during the pandemic, we had time to sit back and see what the fuck was going on. Even for myself, from self experiences, you know, I actually had time to see like, hey, this shit ain't right. Slavery is possible because there are EGIs. What's up to you, Robert? It's been a while. It's been a while. Yeah, get them likes up for me. Yeah, but y'all right. I agree with y'all. I agree with everything. I agree with everything you all are saying. Yeah, and slavery. That's what I'm saying. During the golden years, like the '90s, the '80s, the '70s, the '60s, even the early 2000s, you gotta think these older generations. I believe they the ones that kept this. They the ones that kept it going. They the ones that kept it going. Give me a second, y'all. Give me a sec. Yeah, I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. Yep, 2020 is where humanity woke up. What is the point of commuting and hauling ass 60 hours a week, being sick and on drugs and booze when you can be a healthy hoe? Right, facts. Ha! Facts are echoes of peace. Yeah. And I think a lot of people come into escapism because of these jobs, because they so broken down by the job. I can say for myself, I resulted in escapism to where I became like I wanted to smoke weed. I never really like been a drinker like that, but some people start experience like indulging into alcohols and smoking, doing hard drugs, pills because of the stress of the job. I was around this. I worked at this one place when I was a chef. Matter of fact, one of my coworkers was addicted to pharmaceutical pills, like painkillers and stuff like that. Because you gotta think this job creates escapism. So yeah, you're right. Yes, and that's what I'm saying, and that's why when I came out, like when I started working less hours, that's when I got on my healthy shit. That's when I started working out. I started jogging for miles. I started doing hundreds of push-ups a day when I started working less. Because at this time, this was right like around 2020, but 2021, I had left from being a chef full time. Because when I was a chef, I was working 60 hours a week, and I can say I was living an unhealthy lifestyle at the time, because I was just regurgitating the same thing every day. I was caught up in the loop of working every day. I was working 10 hours, so I come here just to rest. I have to be right back at the job the next day. But then I got fired from being a chef. That's the best thing I could think that's the best thing that ever happened to me. Me getting fired from that position, because I had time to actually find myself and like actually do some deep meditation and actually see what life really was. I started spending more time in nature because when I started working at that diner, I was only working 6 hours a day. I would go in from 8 in the morning and work till like 1 o'clock. So I actually had more time to find myself, and I live in the country, so I would actually have more time to be in nature and start like doing things I wanted to do. And around this time, I started my YouTube too. This was around 2020. I had started my first channel. My first channel, I forgot. I think my first name of my first channel was my name was Kentrell 8807, something like that. When I first started coming into consciousness, I first started waking up too around this time when I had more time. When I started spending more time in nature and spending more time with my family, and I was able to do what I wanted to do. And now I'm a complete boss. Now I do what I want to do when I want to do it. I don't have somebody. I make up my own schedule. Like this week, I was supposed to win. I done a few jobs this week, and I was gonna go clean windows today and yesterday. But I was like, man, you know what? Let me just take off the next 2 days. Let me just take off and let me just go do something else. Like me and my wife went somewhere earlier today. We spent time with each other. I took my daughter to get her stitches out like 2 hours away from where I live at. I'm able to go to more of her basketball games now. I'm able to spend more time at home now. I'm able to actually do what I want to do now since I left the 9 to 5 wage slave rat race. I'm able to just to do what I want to do now, and it's lovely, man. It's the best feeling in the world. I can't. I'm actually living out my own dream. I'm manifesting my own reality because this is what I wanted to do. I thought what I wanted to in existence, like my business, and now I'm doing what I want to do instead of building somebody else's dream up. That's what working a job does. Working a 9 to 5 job does. That's what working a corporate job does. One of these artificial jobs does. It results in you building up someone else's dream. You start becoming a yes man. That's all you are, is a yes man. You're not gonna be able to say no. You're gonna be saying yes. Hey Johnny, can you pick up? You don't work 60 hours already. Hey Johnny, you wanna come in and get some more extra hours? You're gonna say yeah every time. You're not gonna say no. Because then you become a people pleaser. You're into pleasing everyone then instead of pleasing yourself. You know, that's what it's all about. That's why I can't do that to myself no more, you know. That's why I said I think in the next 5 to 10 years, a 9 to 5 job or corporate job won't exist no more. For one, machines are gonna take over people's jobs. For two, we headed into the age of Aquarian and the age of enlightenment. I think people are gonna be more entrepreneur mindset going into the age of Aquarian, going into the age of truth. Because people are gonna start coming into like their own consciousness and like, hey man, what the fuck am I doing? Why am I stuck here at this job 70 hours this week? Let me go spend more time in nature. Let me go spend more time with family. Let me start my own business. Let me start up a painting company. Let me start up a welding company. Let me start selling food out of my house. Let me just do what I want to do in my own time. I've been trading in my time for money all these years. Let me start making this monopoly money work for me. That's what it's all about. It's about letting your finances work for you. Now I let my money work for me. I invested. It took me. I spent 100 and something bucks and bought all my window cleaning equipment. But as time went on, like a fellow window cleaner gave me a bunch of equipment one day. I was out doing a job one day, right? And this older guy, he said he had cleaned windows for 40 years. And he said, man, I respect your hustle. He said, I respect the fact that I see more people out here doing what I'm doing. So he said, hold on, come on. He said, come to my truck with me. So he gave me a bunch of window cleaning equipment. And and that was that was spectacular to me. I'm like, man, that was some good. That was good to me. I'm like, dang, you know. So I'm so upset. I invested into myself, and in return, now I'm reaping the benefits. Now I'm able to sit. I've been in business a year now. Yeah, a year. Next month makes a year. I'll be in business for myself officially. So I think I've done damn good for myself. I'm not like I dropped out of high school. I'm telling you, I dropped out of high school my senior year. I had 1 month to go before I was about to graduate. I dropped out in March, I think. And then, I got shunned for years by my family and by my peers. You dropped out of high school. You don't have a diploma. People would actually talk shit to me just because I didn't have a diploma. That's why you ain't got a diploma. That's nothing but a slave certificate. That's nothing but a certificate saying that you've been programmed by this matrix and now you're ready to take orders. That's what these indoctrination certificates are. Even a college degree. It's nothing but a certificate showing the system that you good at taking orders. I didn't graduate high school. I didn't go to college. I didn't do none of the above. And I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a successful business owner. So that goes to show and tell everyone that you don't need these accolades. You don't need any of these things that are put up on us by society at an early age to be successful. It's about doing what you want to do with your time. That's why some of the smartest kids, so called in school, end up being the biggest slaves because it's about who can take orders the best. People my child graduated high school, they make honor roll, they in the smartest class. No. I think me and Echoes of Peace was having a conversation about that. I think we was texting back and forth, and you was saying something about like how these kids are put into these classes, these smart classes, and these kids are they're the most illiterate. Real shit. Because they did me the same way. They said I had behavioral disorders. They tried to put me on Ritalin. They said I was ADHD, all because I didn't want to pay attention to their mind control bullshit. I knew it was bullshit at 7 years old. I knew it was trash. They tried in return. They told my parents, "Hey, he's hyper. He needs medicine. He doesn't want to sit still. He doesn't want to pay attention." No, because I knew that this I was being indoctrinated. I knew they was trying to. I was being programmed to be a fucking slave bot, and I wasn't having it. I'm just a rebellious soul. I'm just rebellious is encoded in my DNA. That's just what I do. I've been fighting this system all my life since a little boy. I'm gonna continue to do it. I represent individualism. I represent critical thinking. I represent individualism. I represent individual thought. I represent entrepreneurship because entrepreneurship is individualism. Because I'm standing on my own. I'm telling the workforce I don't need them. A lot of my old bosses probably thought I would be back in a couple of months. Oh, he won't be out. He's not going to make it out there on his own. That's my motivation. That's the motivation that I needed to say, you know what? Let me get out here on my own and do what I got to do. Let me drop my nuts. I let my anywhere I go, I let my nuts hang. I don't have, and that's what I'm saying. A lot of these grown men to be at these jobs, they have little dick energy. They have what you call little dick syndrome. I let my nuts hang anywhere I go. Anywhere I go, I let my nuts hang because that's who I am. And that's why it was so easy for me to that's why it was easy for me to transition over to being an entrepreneur because I never was too keen on taking orders from another man or woman anyway. And that's what I'm saying. And I was surrounded by people that was braggadocious about their material gains and their finances. sitting around bragging about what they got, but you a complete slave. You the epitome of a slave. You sitting there bragging about your boat, your car, your house, how much money in your bank. And especially if you're a grown man and you sitting around bragging about what you have in a 3D physical reality, that's little dick energy, man. Real men don't brag about what they have. Real men don't do that. Real men start up their own business so they can pass down to their kids and build generational wealth. I don't care if I have a window cleaner. I can have a business, a janitorial business. At least I can pass that down to my kid. And if you caught up in the wage slave dynamic with being a complete motherfucking bot, you slaving for this company, you cannot pass that company down to your kid. Your kid's not gonna look at you is that superhero figure, is the man or the woman of the house because you taking orders from somebody else. So you so used to getting on your knees begging for a check, doing tricks for a check. What does that say? What is that telling your kid? What is that telling the next generation? That you was just a compliant, obedient worker? That you never questioned authority? That's what I'm saying. It starts off as us being a youth, as being in school in these indoctrination camps, which y'all know as schools. Uh, it's about who can take orders the best. So when they that's what I'm saying. When they give you an A plus or a B minus, they're grading you. They're giving you a grade on the fact that who can take the best, who can take orders the best, who's more compliant. I've got it's been times, it's been times that I got all F's on my report card. I remember one time my mama whooped the skin off my ass one time. I literally had all F's and D's on my report card because I was never good at taking orders or being compliant or being obedient to this system. That's what I'm saying. When they grade you, they grading these kids on the fact of how well they can be a slave. Me, nah, I would nah. Some people they meant to come in here to they some people incarnate into a physical body just so they can be a goddamn slave. They don't know nothing else. You can show them the ropes and tell them to you. You can talk to your blue in the face and they still won't get it. School pass fourth grade is a waste of time. Right, it is. It is. Because it becomes more you start seeing and plus you start seeing the favoritism too. A desk job is the unhealthiest job you can have. It is working in a cubicle because you are literally being micromanaged. It's like it's like they take a rat and put it inside of a maze. And so it's the same thing as you taking your vessel, your avatar and putting it into a cubicle. You just stuck inside of a cubicle all day like a lab rat, like a test rat, and you just being bombarded with meaningless things having to do. You sitting in front of a computer all day. Imagine what the computer is doing to your brain. You just sitting there to your eyes. Imagine what that does to your psyche. Imagine what that does to you mentally. And you don't get nowhere. You can never get nowhere working a wage slave or a corporate job. I'm just being all the way real, you know. But I'm not saying all like I seen somewhere where somebody said they work 312s or 310s, so they might work 3 days a week, 10-hour shifts, something like that. I'm gonna say maybe because then you do have time to sit and relax. But if you just constantly being bombarded with work and you just working, I knew this one guy at the golf course. He worked out on the maintenance. Like I did sometimes too. I would cut acres of grass. This guy would work 100 hours a week. Literally, he worked 100 hours a week, and then being there trying to tell me why ain't you working more? Because I never. They said, oh, dog. They said they call me Dixon now. They said Dixon, you never really want to work. I said, nah, fuck this shit. After a certain point in time, I got tired. I was burnt out. But this guy would work 100 hours a week, right? And then he would drink all the time. That was a part of his escapism, trying to ignore the fact that he was working his life away for nothing. His wife ended up leaving him. So I'm saying he married his high school sweetheart. He was an all-star athlete in high school just to become a maintenance man and work 100 hours a week out there and then become an alcoholic. See what I'm saying? See how these jobs push us into people we don't become alcoholics, we don't become addicted to drugs or any of these external things overnight. Because some people do these things to deal with the fact that they having to work a bullshit job and they can't live with the fact that they got lied to. Because some people do that. Some of these people do know the truth. Like, man, I got lied to by my family, by my friends, society. This matrix lied to me. Some people they result into drinking. So that's why I feel like that's what he did. I feel like that's what he did. And even me, that's what I'm saying. Even me at the time, I was smoking weed every day just to deal like just so I can be like have some type of escapism, just so I can go into this job and I can laugh at certain things that I wouldn't laugh at if I was sober. Because they got that, especially during the pandemic, man. That shit, people showed they was true Nazis. During the pandemic, people showed they were true Nazis. I felt like I was in Guantanamo Bay. I felt like I was in 1935 Nazi Germany with the whole mask wearing, with the whole everybody having inoculations. Like it got bad, man. I'm telling y'all, my manager at the time, she was like shunning all of us because we didn't take the hot sauce, we didn't take the inoculations, and she would come back in the kitchen. She worked all the way in her offices. All I'm telling you, her office was all the way in the front of the building. She would take the time out of her day. Literally a troll. She would come back there in the kitchen where I'm at. I got 3 inoculations. I think I'm gonna go get me a fourth one today. Like she kind of trolling me because she knew I didn't have it. I think the Matrix put her on to the fact that we didn't have the shit. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. During this time, people showed that they were fucking Nazis. It was a time that I didn't want to put on a mask, and I was back there cooking, and me and her had started having words. So she went to the head honcho, trying to like force me into wearing a fucking mask, and I was willing to lose my job at this point in time. I was willing to lose my job for what I believed in because I stand on integrity. I stand on principalities, and I stand on. So I'm saying I let my nuts hang. I'm a man. Before I'm anything, I'm a man before I'm anything. So I stand on certain principles. So I felt like her coming back there trying to force me to do something that I didn't want to do went against everything that I stand for. So I said no. I'm not wearing a fucking mask. I can't breathe back here. I'm back here trying to get all these food. I get all this food out. I'm stacked up with tickets. You think I'm worried about if I have a mask on or not? So she went and told on me, but the head honcho ended up telling her, "Hey, leave him alone. He don't have to wear no mask. Leave him alone." So I'm saying that's if you so willing to comply, you know, I want to say this compliant, be so pessimistic, be so slaved out, you're not gonna have the balls or you're not gonna have the backbone to stand up to tyranny. And these wage slave jobs represent tyranny. These jobs represent Nazism. Then you can go to a job and be put into a certain class because if you're not the manager, they don't have favoritism in you, you be treated like goddamn garbage. I witnessed. That's what I'm saying. I'm only speaking from experiences. That's what I'm saying. That's what's the old saying? Learn from what experience teaches. So I only can go off from what I've experienced over the years of my life. So that's why I'm able to get on these videos and I can come out with these titles speaking on these things because I can just I'm a walking testament. I'm pretty sure most of y'all are walking testaments of how we being done, how this matrix does. We don't have. So I'm saying it's just working out all the time kills your inner child too. It kills your inner child. We talented people. I feel like I'm a talented dude. I'm a jack of all trades. I don't feel like I mastered anything because I feel like I can do anything I put my mind to it. Anything I've ever wanted to do in my life, if I put my mind to it and I put my solitude to it, I put my fortitude and I put my I have a willingness to do things, I can do it. And I feel like that's for all of us. We're all creators. We're all creator guys. We create things out of thin air. You can close your eyes and say, I want a cup of I want a glass of cold water, and you make it appear. So it's the same thing with anything else we want to do. We can dream of something. We can visualize something in our head, and then we make it come to fruition on our own. That's a part of us being creators. That's a part of us being. That's a part of us having creativity. That's a part of us being individuals. That's a part of us uh doing what we want to do. But the job kills all that. The job kills your creativity. It kills your inner child because you stuck at a fucking career. Like I said, your body is the vessel. Your body is a car. So they're taking your vessel, your avatar, which is a career, and they're rearing your ass right into a punk ass desk job or a punk ass job that you working that you dread going into every day, dealing with your bullshit coworkers, and then you having to deal with the masses on top of that. You got to deal with all these goddamn zombies with no souls, no critical thinking, and they coming in. They can come in and make you have a shitty day just because just because they in a bad mood, just because they've been alerted. We got one that can see. They gonna try to make you have a bad day. So that's why I'm glad. And that shit that shit. I'm saying that shit can beat you down mentally. You go home, you stress the fuck out. You like man, you telling your wife, you telling your husband, you telling your significant other, man, what's it? I wanted to punch. What's the name of this goddamn face today? And you having to deal with that, and especially if you don't have time to recover from that. Say if you work 10 hours, 12 hours, a 12-hour shift, and you get into it with somebody on the job, or you having some discrepancy with the manager, you're gonna take that bad energy is gonna translate to you going home, and it's gonna make you can go home and have a bad day. You can go home and take that shit out on your family just because you had a bad day at the office, and you don't have time to recover from that. You got to be right back in the office within 8 hours. That animosity, that bad energy is going to translate to the next day. So you're gonna be sitting at the job like, man, this motherfucker say something to me, I'm gonna smack shit out of him. So that you automatically starting off on the wrong foot. So I'm saying I left all that alone. You can just be a gang stalker. Yeah, the Canadian truck just saved our asses with their fourth grade education. Right. That's what I'm saying. That's why I left all that alone, man. I almost got into so many fights on these jobs, man. I remember one time this guy tried to hit me with a shovel. Ha! We was doing the job. This is when I worked at the damn golf course. Like I said, I would like go outside and work out on the maintenance crew for like 1 or 2 days a week just to make extra money. Cause I was working so goddamn much at this time, man. I lost myself. I was so caught up in the goddamn matrix at this time. This was like 2018, 2019. I was chasing this bullshit American dream. I was in competition. I'm just keeping it real with y'all, man. I can't. I ain't trying to fake it till I make it, huh? But man, yeah, I remember that time, man. That dude, me and this dude we had words, man. He had said something to me, and I guess he thought I was gonna be passive aggressive. I think they think we're all just like soft or something like that, man. He had said something to me, I didn't, and I took it as disrespect, man. And we started going back and forth, and they was trying to break us up, man. This motherfucker pulled out a shovel on me, man. And then another time, this one guy had said something to me. He went and lied on me. He said I spit in his food. This when I was a chef. He said I spit in his food because the day before that we almost got into a fight. Because I'm saying I'm not violent. I just don't take. I just don't. I'm not too big on disrespect, man. I feel like, man, if you gonna run your mouth, man, be ready to deal with being somebody punching you in your shit. That's how I was raised. If you gonna go out your way to disrespect somebody or go disrespect somebody's manhood or womanhood, be prepared to deal with the consequences. So if somebody cuss you out, somebody say, hey man, go. If somebody say, man, fuck you with a fist in your ass. If I tell you, hey man, fuck you with a fist in your ass, would I be wrong? If you come to me disrespectfully, if I feel like your energy is off, would I be wrong for doing that? No. So that's what I'm saying. These jobs make us these 9 to 5 ways slave jobs ain't worth it, man. It's not worth our sanity. It's not worth mine. It's not worth mine from a personal experience anymore anyway. So that's what I'm saying. I'm glad I left, and from here on out, because my business is my window cleaning business is growing. So I don't feel I'm not in working a job to me. It's not enticing no more. It's not enticing. So that's what I'm saying. To each his own, but to the ones that's still caught up in the wage slave rat race, look for a way out, y'all. Because we stronger than that. We wasn't put here. We didn't come. I didn't come in here to work a fucking job all day just to pay a meaningless ass bill, man. Just to be a part of this straw man society. This shit ain't nothing but this. This ain't nothing but this. This is hell, you know. Just to be a part of this dystopian society, man. I didn't incarnate into a physical body just to come down here and play these dumbass games, just to play the game of life, and then get told that I'm an underachiever just because I don't want to go. Well, I don't want to fit society standards. They would literally call you an underachiever just because you don't have top of like 500K of your salary, just because you don't have 50 degrees, just because you don't have a career, or just because you're not a manager or overseer at a job. Nah, man, it's not about that, man. That's just trash, man. Nobody cares about your money no more. Nobody cares about what kind of house you have anymore. Nobody cares that you make a substantial amount of money every year no more. Nobody cares about that shit no more. We headed towards the age of Aquarian. Everyone's gonna be on the equal playing field. Ain't gonna be no such thing as classism no more. Ain't gonna be no such thing as that. People need to get the fuck over themselves, man. Especially if you're a grown man. If you're a grown man and that's all you have to talk about is material. And that's little dick energy, man. Keep that shit over there, man. I want to talk about things that matter. We need to sit down and have real conversations. So having real conversations anymore in this bullshit matrix is materialism. Oh yeah, man, I just bought a $200,000 camper. Oh man, I went on a vacation for a month on a beach. I was in Indianapolis the other day. I had took my daughter to somewhere to get her stitches out after her surgery, right? And there was a guy behind us. He was sitting there bragging about how he needed this steroid shot. That way he could go on the beach. He kept saying, "Oh yeah, man, I need to get that shot. I need to get the shot. Yeah, I need to give me something because I got to be on this beach." I'm thinking to myself, a fucking zombie. He was sitting there bragging about all this material shit. Yeah, man, I got these skis. I need to be on the beach. I worked all. I make this X amount of dollars a year. I need to be on the beach. I'm sitting here listening to him. I'm saying, listen to this fucking clown. He gets up, he walks by. This guy has a big ass pot belly. He looks out of shape. I'm sitting there thinking of my daughter's laughing too. I'm sitting there thinking to myself, I said, wow, you sitting here bragging about all this material shit. You walking around with a pot belly, and you saying how you want to go on a beach looking like a turkey. Or look like a baked turkey. Big ass pot belly. Who wants to see you on a beach? You need to be on the sideline, my G. That's what I'm saying, man. People are just goddamn robots, man. People are unrealistic. When I hear NPCs or clones or robotoids, whatever you want to call them, talk anymore, they just sound so unrealistic, man. I deal with reality. I don't deal with none of this fairy tale shit. All these early 2000s, people still had the same that people's concept of reality, perception of reality hasn't changed since '05 or since '95. So they still, oh man, this is bizarre. It's weird. That's what I'm saying. Wage slavery. Do for yourself. Don't wait for somebody else to tell you to do it. Do it for yourself. Do it for your family. I don't need another grown man, a zombie to tell me when to do something or where I'm gonna do it at. I do it when I want to do it now. Cause that's how I am. That's what I stand on. But yeah, I'm glad. This is Wage Slave Part Two. I haven't done a video talking about this in months, so I figured I'd get on here and do a part two. A lot of videos I'm gonna start doing like part twos and part threes too, because I feel like I really didn't get off where I really wanted to get off in part one. That's why I always make sequels to each videos that I do. That way we can go deeper into the topic that I'm discussing on this channel. And on this channel you're gonna get number realness. You're not gonna get it's no half stepping over here. That's why I always like to throw in life experiences when I do titles, like I do Matrix Love. I do Is God a Deadbeat? I do what other titles I have on my channel? Just different titles I do on my videos. I try to add in life experiences, things I've dealt with over time in my life. I try to throw that in there. That way people can resonate with that more instead of me just getting on here sounding so goddamn robotic and just going sounding so robotic. I can just get on here and we deal with life. We deal that way you can resonate with what I'm talking about. So I know a lot of people feel what I'm saying when I talk about wage slavery. A lot of people want to leave their jobs right now. A lot of people get in their cars and say, man, fuck this job and fuck my boss. Because the boss majority of the time is gonna be an asshole. It's gonna be a piece of shit. Real shit. But yeah, teach his own, man. But yeah, I'm gonna wrap this video up. Shout out to everybody that joined. Shout out to everybody that watched this video. Go back and watch it, do what you do. With that being said, I'm in the wind. I'm out.